I'm pleased to be joined by UFC Women's Strawweight Champion, Thug Rose Namajunas. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you here in this beautiful belt. And so you have some pretty good memories in New York, obviously just last month defending your title against Joanna Jędrzejczyk. What did that mean to you to get that win and maybe silence the critics that thought that potentially that first one might have been a fluke?
Yeah, it's always about, proving to myself, just challenging myself and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot of critics out there that, that Joanna included, that thought it was a fluke. So that's important to me, but it's even more important to myself that I prove to myself I'm the best in the world. And yeah, that's all that matters.
Well, I know you were on the bus that Conor McGregor and company attacked. Were you actually considering not fighting? Like, what was going through your head?
Yeah, I didn't feel very safe that night, and so going into the fight, I mean, it's a scary situation anyways, just fighting in general. So of course you have your regular doubts and questions leading to this, and why do I do this and all this stuff. But really that made it extra challenging, and I'm just glad that I got over the challenge, and it was just really important to me to face that fear and to just go out there and do my job anyways. And I did it, and I came out on top.
That must have been a great feeling.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I think that I feel like I could have a better performance. I felt like my adrenaline was a little bit taxed going into the fight, but overall, I was proud of my performance and what I was able to do.
Has it been what you've expected to have such success? Have there been any big surprises?
I'd say the biggest, I guess, expectation that kind of like has surprised me has been the steady gradual growth of just like things gradually happening. Like once I got the belt, it just was the next step for me. It wasn't like this like whole mountain that I just got over. I'm still climbing up that mountain and that ladder. It's just another notch in my actual life belt. Yes. So it wasn't as drastic of a change as I thought it might be.
That's interesting.
But at the same time, I like that. I like that it's just like an accomplishment, and it doesn't make me who I am. It's a nice tool to have.
Well, I know fans are probably wondering when they're going to see you back in the octagon. What are you thinking in terms of that?
I don't know. At the moment, I feel a bit like I have some. I'm not the healthiest person at the moment. I got a little, injuries and things like that. So I want to tend to that first, and then we'll see.
So I want to ask you about just some of the things that you've been through. You've been so open about overcoming so many things, about your father dealing with schizophrenia, about growing up surrounded by violence and drugs, and so many things that you have been through. So how, through all of that, and even now with those memories that are with you, how has fighting been a form of therapy for you?
Fighting forces you to deal with your emotions. It forces you to face your fears. It forces you to just your whatever your biggest fear is. It makes you come to terms with it, whether before the fight or during a fight. And most of the time you want it to happen before the fight. You want to get into the fight and like realize, like, dang, what am I doing here? What you just have to ask yourself the question of why you're fighting. So to me, I always focus on what the purpose is. And you got to fight with a purpose. Otherwise, you're just gonna, you're gonna be wondering what you're doing in there.
Real quick, I want to ask you. We've seen a lot of different fighters do crossover fights. Would you ever consider doing a fight in a different type of arena?
I don't know. I mean, I think mixed martial arts is where it's at. I love boxing. I'm a huge fan, and I love like just the science behind it. And I use it a lot in my fights. And grappling, I mean, I love jiu-jitsu, but there is something about combining it all together that, to me, that's like the top of the mountain, and it's my favorite. So it take me it have to be something that would have to very convince me like to do that.
We so appreciate your time and just your vulnerability, and wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much, Rose.
Thank you.